right there, then I'm good. And then that way I can use it to promote it, at a later date and build my YouTube videos. Excuse me. How's the weather over there in Bend? Are you guys getting snow again? Over here, it's been raining all day long, and I have not seen the sun in about 3 days. Yes, Shelly's here. And Shelly, thank you. I'm excited to chat with you. I've got everything up and ready to go here in just a few moments. Small bit, but clear. So is the snow that you had in that big snowstorm, did all of that melt off then? Hmm. We haven't had much snow at all. We've had a lot of rain for even this time of the year. It seems like it's just rain nonstop, and the wind blows, and especially like out where I'm at. So anyway, I'll just go ahead and start talking. It's been, I guess, seems like a long week for me. I am still recovering from back surgery back in October, and pain comes and goes. Today is one of those days where it's mostly been good and a little more pain this evening. I have a stand-up desk that I bought that I ordered from Amazon.com so I could stand up while I do this stuff. And that remains out in the living room because it takes more than one person to set it up. And I'm the only one here. So my friends came over to help me the other day, but not much got done. So another friend was going to help out with it, and that other friend had to go and do something else, go pick somebody up. So it hasn't been done, but I'm hoping that this week that I can get that set up so that I can start using it. It's got a crank so that it can go up higher when I want to stand up, and then I can crank it down to sit down. So that's kind of cool. I used to have one of those when I worked for T-Mobile, a call center desk. But so let's see. With Udemy, myself, I want to start working on some more courses. I've set up some goals. I want to double the amount of courses that I have, which is currently 7. Barb, you've got one course out, right? What have you been doing as far as Udemy goes? I know that Matt, it would be nice. Maybe one of these days I'll get Matt to join me in the evening again. Yeah, you can come on for a few and then chat with me for like about 5 minutes, and then I'll bring Shelly on for the interview with her. But yeah, sure, go ahead. Come on, join me. Hello. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
It'd help if I turn my microphone on.
There you go. How are you?
Well, I've been in a couple of blabs today, and I'm kind of tired, but I didn't,
Yeah.
I knew you were going to be here, and I didn't want to let you down because I told you I was coming.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. How have you been?
Yeah. It's, I don't know if you were aware, but I hurt my leg
Yeah,
here
you
at the
told me
lake.
that.
So, yeah. So it's finally getting to where I can walk on it again.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah,
but
you
you
need to be
asked if I
careful.
got my course published, and I have not.
What? What's holding
No,
you back?
I have 65 certificates of courses I've taken, and I have probably I would say 4 courses together now. So,
Ready to
and
go?
if I took a course from Ken Wells on handling stress. I've had, so I have a thing with my son going on,
Yeah.
and it's been high stress, and the good Lord willing, he'll be free to come up here and join me after the end of the year. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, I sent him a
But
message and asked him how he was doing on his book, and I challenged him to write at least
yeah,
300 words a day. And then I had sent a follow-up message, but I hadn't heard because I know, like,
yeah,
sometimes with that kind of stuff, when somebody's under pressure and they've got a lot going on, that it can be hard to be productive and get things done. I went through a period of my life, where I was writing poetry, and it was dark poetry and all of that. My mom used to say, "Are you all right?" And that was when I was living in Seattle. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just, I think that kind of stuff for me, like remaining active with what I do, helps me, especially like with the weather the way that it's been. It's just I want to escape somewhere where it's warm and sunny.
Yes, I can relate to
So
that.
that's
But I
all I want to
am,
do.
uh, geez, I've learned so much, and and it is just a matter of taking that next step. But
Hmm.
well, now there's the end of the year promotion coming up,
Hmm.
and so I thought, okay, well, maybe I can squeeze it in. If I hear really good news on my son's end on Monday, then I could just totally focus on that, just the get her done phase. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping for to be able to participate in that. But I am. It's like I said to Kim Wells. I'm not giving up. I'm just going forward. I know that's what I want to do, and that's what
Hmm.
I'm going for. So, meanwhile, I've gotten several other people on as instructors, just saying you
Yeah.
have to do it. So,
Yeah. People
so
that you
that's
know
the good
then
news.
that you've
Yeah,
convinced to join Udemy.
right. Yeah. Did
Um,
you see that Jeff Boulis has his new blogging course on Udemy?
is that the guy who does the what is he known for? YouTube
His
videos.
blogs, yeah, no, his blogging. He was rated the number one influencer for this year for
Really?
blogs.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I just finished
So
the um oh my gosh. Now I'm going to Gary Vaynerchuk's course. I just finished
yeah,
that, and I was going to leave a review for that. And I've been kind of hopping around to some of these courses. I finished a course from Joe Paris, who I've known for quite a while, and it was a goal setting course. And I actually, out in the kitchen, I have a notepad. So he says that write your goals down each day, just carry them over, because that way they're in your head. And I've got on there to buy a new car, because you know what happened to me last time I was
yes.
coming to Bend. I had that accident in Seattle. So it's time to replace the car. I want to move out on my own, whether that be Boise or Seattle or somewhere in
Or
between.
Bend.
Yeah, I love Bend. You know that Bend, Oregon. If other people are living out there, Barb lives just north of Bend in a community called Redmond, which is not as large as Bend, but it's grown a lot. I know that, and Bend is
That's
just
where there's two Facebook data centers and another one
yes,
coming in. So
yep, the
I
third one.
mean,
And did I tell you my story about that?
I don't think so.
So,
No.
so before I met you, earlier this year I was going to move to Seattle, and I drove all the way to Camas, Washington, which is across the river from Portland, and stayed at this beautiful bed and breakfast, and then went for Thai food, and then realized that there was a brewery right next to that. So I went and had a few drinks, and I came back to the room, and I was just thinking about things, and I woke up early, called my mom, and said, I don't think Seattle is right for me at this time. I said, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to come back, but I'm going to go a different way. And I went down through, the flank of Mount Hood, and then down through Madras, and
Mm-hmm.
then cut across through Prineville. So I didn't go into Bend that time, and then across to Boise. So then my cousin wanted to go to the coast for 4th of July, but for some reason she didn't communicate well enough with her boyfriend, and she couldn't go. And so I said, I'm going to go to the coast. And so I went to Bend, stayed the night, went to Crater Lake, went to the coast, and then up to Seattle. And then on the way back from that trip, I stayed in Madras, and I went to Smith Rock and some other places. And then I went to John Day Fossil Beds, which is awesome. And now I'm like trying to think about like like the third time the third time was the time that I came through and I met you. So the second time was when because the first time I couldn't find out where the Facebook data center is, and where the Schwab Tire has their
That's one.
headquarters. I saw that, and I'm like, I wonder where Facebook is. And I drove up on that hill with the overview of Prineville, kind of like looking to see if I could see a data center, not realizing it was across the road there from Le Schwab. So, so that second time I stopped and I had rented a Ford Fusion, and I had the window down and I was snapping photos thinking, they're going to come out here and see what the heck am I doing. So I snapped up all these photos of the data center there in Prineville because it was just such a cool experience for me, doing social media and all of that. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hey, you want to stick around while I bring Shelly on, and you want to sit there and hang out?
Whatever you want. If you need window dressing, I'll stick around for you.
I'd love that. Let's go ahead. Hey, Shelly, come on in and join us. She's got some interesting stuff. I met her through Kat Whipple, who is a Udemy instructor. Hey there, how's it going?
Hi, Shelly.
Oh, microphone. Uh-oh. Can you hear? You might have to check the buttons. So something like in the settings, Blab doesn't have like a way that you can pick the microphone, right? It automatically chooses the default microphone.
Whatever you've got set, whatever you have set.
So you might want to go in. I don't know if you're using Windows or if you're using Mac or you're using your iPhone. Okay. It's a good thing I know sign language. So yeah, she's good. We're going to talk about JV Zoo and some other stuff. She's doing some app stuff. So we're going to talk about that. I know that she does skydiving, and we're just going to sit and chat. So I need to do a better job at marketing this stuff beforehand. Next week, I've got Scott Duffy coming on. We're going to talk about making sure that your videos are set so it's harder for people to pirate your Udemy courses. And then after that, Jack Wilson, who you met before, remember when we had the problem with that recording? Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about healthy eating for the upcoming new year and setting fitness goals and stuff like that. Are you there?
Oh, no sound.
Go ahead and type it in over here. So you can type it in and let us know like what
is happening.
Yeah. And welcome everybody who's joining us. I appreciate you hanging out with us. My name is Dennis, and this is Late Night with You, Me, and Udemy. And I have Barb Tomlin with me, and Barb and I have actually met in person. I had dinner with her and her son earlier this year in beautiful Bend, Oregon. So I've known her for a while, and she follows Matt and I when we do our blabs, and hopefully Matt and I can start doing that again. We're going to do content marketing. We're going to talk about content marketing each week in different aspects. Kick me out and let me jump in on your desktop. Okay, here we go. There we go. That was fun. So you guys had that snow, and then it warmed up, because I remember you saying it was like 68 degrees or something.
Right. Like that. Wasn't that something?
Wow, that's crazy.
Yes.
Oh really my gosh. And then it all melted off. And then now you've had a little bit of snow again, because the Andy McCabe, who I met down there too, he was posting photos the other day, and there's a little bit of chair. Okay, got to open the seat. I got to follow her instructions and open that seat. So now you can call back in. Go ahead, caller. All right. Can we hear you now? No? Uh-oh. Darn technology.
Oh,
so you're on your desktop. Make sure that your settings, that you've got your default mic selected in there, because sometimes, I heard a noise. I heard something.
She's
Can you? No. So your default settings, if you're using Windows, I'm on a Mac, so it's been a while. I did buy a new Windows PC called a Flipbook. Have you ever seen those, Barb?
nope.
Those are pretty cool. They flip over from a keyboard, and then when you flip it completely around 360 degrees, it becomes a tablet with a touch
Mm-hmm.
screen. Pretty cool. Huh. So
She
I
can
don't think
check her
it's.
sound. Does she know Windows or not?
Yeah, are you familiar with Windows? Yeah? Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, if you're doing apps, yeah.
Check your sound and your sound source,
Yeah, somewhere it's
and you
got to
should
be
be
the
okay.
sound. Is that you? No? Who made the chiming noise?
I didn't, so she must have.
So what do you have?
So
It looks like
it's
you
her,
have a Blue Yeti behind you for your
me?
mic. Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
one
can
from
we
my
hear you now?
laptop.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you Yeah. Hey, what was going on there?
It might have been. I have a little bitty lapel mic, and
Uh-huh.
the battery might be dead on the lapel mic.
Oh, see, everything has to be checked before you go live.
Actually, I was doing the iPhone first,
Yeah.
and the iPhone was working out pretty well. I'm not sure what happened with it. So
Yeah, Jack's used the iPhone before, and it's amazing the quality on the iPhone.
you're right.
Yeah. I'm using the built-in camera here on my Mac, and then I've got a Logitech upstairs broadcasting out the window the view during the daytime. I wanted to try something new. But anyway, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. And hi, Barb.
Hey.
Yeah. So Shelly, let us know where you're at and how long you've been on Udemy.
Well, I'm coming at you today from the lovely state of Mississippi.
Oh, cool.
I've been on Udemy now for about maybe about a little over a year, maybe.
Okay.
And I actually got onto Udemy because I had watched a few coaches, online coaches, that had said that they were building Udemy courses, and I'm actually a teacher. I'm a high school biology teacher.
Oh.
And I thought, well, shoot, if they could do it, I could do it. And I'm very much into technology. In my classroom, I did something called the flipped classroom. And what that means is instead of doing regular lectures, I would videotape my lectures, and I would do it in one take videos. And I would put those videos up on the internet on a wiki site. And I had Kindles in my classroom. And I would actually have the kids watch the video lectures on the Kindles in class. Mm-hmm. And they would have guided notes with them, and they would actually complete their guided notes as they were watching the videos. So in my classroom, you could just about hear a pin drop. And what was really cool about it was the kids could watch the videos again if they didn't get it. If they went ahead of everybody, they could go to the next lecture, and then they could help me out getting labs ready and stuff like that. So it was really an interesting setup in the classroom. So I actually was looking at Udemy as a way to possibly provide some of that for my children. And then what happened was in June of 2014, June the 9th, I actually had an amputation of my right leg above the knee. Ooh. And it was a wonderful thing. It was very necessary. I was going down in a wheelchair and was going to have to stay in a wheelchair if I didn't have it done. So even though it was not an emergency situation and it wasn't a critical situation, it was a choice that I made. And 5 weeks after the amputation, I was back up at the school and trying to get my classroom ready, because in 2 weeks after that, the kids were going to be there for school. And sure enough, I was there teaching 7 weeks after the amputation, and
awesome.
Lasted for about 4 more weeks, and then I got a really bad infection and had to go home. And I knew then that I would probably be out of teaching for a while. So that's when I really kind kind of rushed along the process of getting on Udemy because I had to keep my brain busy. You know, us teachers, we love our classroom, and we spend hours and hours planning to get the lessons right and to really keep the kids engaged. And when all that just comes to a halt, your brain just almost tries to turn to mush. So I actually started to play with Udemy and see what I could do. And I'd been playing with JVZoo, and I saw that there was nothing on Udemy for JVZoo teaching people how to set up products. I think there was something on there about how to use it as an affiliate to make money, but not how to use it as a seller to make money. So I actually created the JVZoo course called JVZoo Mastery, and put it up there and just kind of let her rip, and moved on to other things just because I, was keeping my mind busy. And I said, well, we'll see how this goes. And I have been thoroughly shocked at, I've done no promotion, really nothing with it. I've just been doing Udemy organic stuff and letting Udemy do everything for me. And I'm already at like $174. So I'm now doing some more courses that I'm going to release that are on programming and different things like that are a little bit higher end than just the JVZoo course.
Yeah. Huh. So is your course, like you said, it's more from the seller standpoint with JVZoo?
It is. It's showing a person how to take your product and put it up there and then get affiliates to sell your product.
So do you want to explain to those who are listening, and because this is being recorded, I'm familiar with what JVZoo is, and I have an account, and I do affiliate marketing with Udemy courses, so I have a couple of websites, and maybe Barb isn't familiar with it, and just kind of explain to all of us a little bit about what JVZoo is and what people can do with it.
Okay, well, you can go in as an affiliate, and what that allows you to do is people put different products, digital products up to sell, and then you promote those products and you get a percentage of whatever the item sells for. So that is your affiliate commission. But you can also use JVZoo as a seller, which means you have your own digital product. You can have a ebook that you want to sell. You can have software that you want to sell. You can have just about anything that's digital, and you can post it up there to sell. And affiliates will actually apply to ask to sell your product, and you set the commission. So you might set that commission for 50%. So if your product sells for $10, the affiliate's going to make $5 off of that.
Yeah, which is a good way to get other people to market your stuff out there in places that you might not have access to. And I guess it's probably like ClickBank, which is located actually here in Boise, which is the same thing. Allows you to sell digital products. So that's essentially what JVZoo is, right?
That's exactly what it is. It's the same concept as ClickBank, but I think ClickBank actually charges for you to jump in as a seller, whereas JVZoo doesn't. You can actually jump into JVZoo right away and be a seller without any cost, and then you can get those affiliates and actually start selling your product right away.
Yeah.
I think ClickBank to get started is like $48, $49, something like that.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, Barb, have you done any affiliate marketing stuff at all?
Yes, I did. I used to do ClickBank, and I'm not sure whether I did JVC or not. I just, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, because I've thought about doing that some more because, since I've been on Udemy, I've built up a list of followers, and there's some stuff that, that I do with Udemy and promote that stuff. And, I think like JVZoo has just a ton of different products that one can promote. Is that right, Shelly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an affiliate. There's a lot that you can make a commission. But as a seller, what I've done in the course that I've made is I've actually shown you how to get products. One of the things that I show them how to do is get something called PLR, or private label rights products.
Right.
Where you go and buy products and then kind of refurbish them and make them yours and put your name on it, and then put them up right away and sell them and get affiliates to sell them for you.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know, Barb, are you still hearing the cutout on her audio at all?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Yes.
your audio, I don't know what it is, but sometimes you fade out. Are you close to your PC or?
Yeah. Let me put some earphones on. That helps.
Yeah, that might actually help too, because I used to have that issue. Barb doesn't seem to have that issue. You don't have headphones on. Do you have headphones on and they're just hiding?
These are new headphones. They're what musicians use, singers, and so they serve as monitors, but there's a total noise reduction, so that I can actually hear the best.
Yeah.
And of course, then I'm getting an extension cable. It'll be in Wednesday, so that you won't be able to see it at all. But
how's that? Can you hear?
Yeah, now we've got some feedback.
Oh, a lot of static.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's gone.
Is that any better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that better for you, Barb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Can you hear that a lot better?
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Let's try that. So we were talking about what is it? Private right label?
Private label rights, yes.
Yeah, private label rights. So that's basically where somebody produces a product and gives you the rights, depending on, sometimes when they sell it, they give you different levels what you can purchase. And if you spend more money, then they give you the rights to sell it under your name and brand it as your own and sell it in other places. Is that correct?
That's correct. Okay. Yes.
So what are the benefits of that?
The benefits are that you are starting to create your own kind of brand. Mm-hmm. So you can actually find products that are within a certain niche and just sell those products. Or you can go wide open like I did. and I just took not just the private label right stuff, but the master resale right stuff and the resale right stuff. Because you can take all that and put it back up as well. One of the ones that I thought was the funniest one, I found a product called 99 Ways to Stop Bedwetting. And I thought, okay, we'll try that out. And it had a wonderful sales page, and it had all the wonderful graphics with it. So I didn't have to create very much at all. I just kind of repackaged it a little bit. And didn't even put my name on it. I just kind of did it as a reseller instead of private label rights, and posted it up there. And I mean, the amount of affiliates that jumped in there to ask if they could sell it stunned me. And that one's doing probably one of the best ones that I have. Yeah,
I haven't been on and just so people know that you can go to jvzoo.com. And you can become a seller or you can become an affiliate on there. I have an affiliate account, but I always forget to, and even I've been to ClickBank because, like I said, it's right here in Boise. So I'm connected with people who are connected to those who work there. And so I was invited to an event for authors there because I've written a book. And, Kindle is an option, or the main option, or not necessarily the main option. It's what do I want to say? It's the one that's most widely used, I guess, for authors. But you can take a book and put it into PDF format and then use something like JVZoo and ClickBank so that you can get other people to promote that product for you. And you can do things like maybe like what I know other people have done is that maybe offer the book and offer the video with a little bit more, maybe some interviews with people who are experts in the subject matter that you're writing about, and then maybe interview some people who are experts and then put out, a larger package of stuff. I know somebody here in Boise who actually did that, but what he used is Gumroad, which is, a payment processor that allows people to sell digital product. And he's done over $750,000 in sales by selling digital ebooks like that. And now he's started a company, which is a company that does email marketing, which I do. And I mean, this stuff gets me excited because I start thinking about, people like Barb, who is, and both of you are we're all Udemy instructors. So how I can market things that I know to Udemy instructors so that they can do things to earn additional revenue. Because once Barb gets her courses out there, she'll want to build a following so that, and same with you, so that we can keep continuing to sell more and more product. So Barb, get that course out there.
It's really fun. I remember watching the course when I first made it and thinking, gosh, nobody's going to buy this. This is just not going to, it's not going to rock and roll. And then just that first sale, I think my first sale was like $10. Mm-hmm. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, if I can make $10, I can do this again and again and again. And the courses themselves to me are not that hard to make. I don't have an elaborate setup at all. I mean, I just have my laptop and I have a lapel mic that's actually, it's a really good lapel mic when the battery's working. and I use PowerPoint, and I create all my lectures in PowerPoint, and then actually time them and add my comments into each slide. And then all I do is run the PowerPoint by itself. And I use a screencasting software called Screencast-O-Matic, and that captures the screen as I'm running the PowerPoint, and that makes my videos for me. And it's super, super simple, and it's no, no $1,000 setup or $10,000 setup or anything like that. And I'm doing really, really well with it. And those are all things I've carried forward from when I was doing the videos for my class.
Now, are you still teaching?
No, I'm actually still off. I'm still kind of healing, and I just got my prosthetic leg about maybe 9 or 10 months ago, and I'm now walking up to 1 mile a day, and I've actually done 3 miles. My goal is to actually walk a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. And I'm still having some issues with the socket where it rubs, and after an amputation, the stump that's left shrinks and swells and shrinks and swells. So the socket that I have is actually, one day it's too big, and then another day it's kind of small. And so each day that I put it on, it's a little bit different. I've actually named my prosthetic leg Murphy. So Murphy and I are just kind of learning each other and figuring things out. And I have a state-of-the-art leg. It's really incredible what it can do. It's called a microprocessor knee, because of course I'm an above-the-knee amputee, so that I have to have a knee. And it's got a computer inside the knee of the leg, and that computer monitors the way I walk and all that kind of stuff, and it can actually tighten and loosen based on how I walk. And not only that, it's got Bluetooth in it, so we can actually connect it to a laptop that has the software for the leg, and we can change the settings on the leg so that it tightens and loosens, and it monitors everything I do. It counts every step. It can tell me if I'm walking fast or slow or average. It can tell me if I'm taking good steps, which is a heel to toe step. It's actually really incredible what this leg can do. And it's waterproof, so I can take it in the water.
Is it able to take calls for you?
It doesn't yet. The cool thing is if I ever get back into the classroom with it having that Bluetooth technology, I've often thought, I could kick one of the students in the fanny and claim that somebody hacked into my leg.
Wow. That's just amazing.
It is amazing. It's really, really cool. Really cool. I'm actually enjoying it a lot. And I did not get it to look like a regular leg. I wanted it to look like the leg that it is. and I've had fun being almost like an amputee ambassador as I go out, because people have a lot of questions when they see it.
Hey, Barb, do you have any questions so far?
No, not at all.
Are you?
I'm familiar with JV Sue. I'm actually a customer.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, great.
I like Barb's setup there because you were talking about how, you know, you can do Udemy with some of the screen capture software out there, and there's decent quality mics. This is a Bluetooth mic that I've used before for courses, but I've graduated into, I think Barb has a Blue Yeti back there. I've got my Blue Yeti over here on a mic boom, but I don't use it for blabs. I use the headset here. But Barb's got a nice setup with the clapper board there, and it looks like almost like a velvet curtain behind you or something like that.
Would you like me to tell you about it?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us about your studio.
Here's the thing. Do you know the Soji board, the Soji screens? Are you familiar with those?
I have not
you
heard of them.
On Amazon. Yes. And let's see, I did it for Dave one night. Let's see if I can get it on screen. This one actually I have, you know, there's a chroma key blue and green. And I've actually created chroma key cloth behind it so that this acts like a green screen.
Man, I want one of those now.
All this is a $50 Soji screen. I'll have to see if I can get to it.
Amazon.com?
Here, I'll give you the link.
Yeah, because I've been looking at green screens, but I like that.
It's not a green, Dennis.
Yeah, I know. It's not a green screen.
The Soji screen is your backboard, but then you can fold it up and take it with you. That's what digital nomads need to do. You know?
So, put it in the back seat of my Focus.
This is a throw. You can get these at Costco, but it is padded, and the that cotton velour. And the reason I did that is for sound, because you need to because of the way that the sound bounces around, you need to have it so that it will absorb the sound around you.
So somebody wants to know how that's held up.
It actually, let me give you the link to the Soji screen.
Okay, cool.
You control that. I have several different sets, right? This is actually in my master bedroom suite. And the computer that I'm speaking to you from is it's actually closes up and is put away. It just, you know, it's very compact. So you wouldn't know I did this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but it can be turned into a complete. I swear by the Soji screen. I help other instructors in a totally separate environment that and it's so cost effective. Let me see if I can get a hold where you can actually see it. But
I'm on Amazon.com.
See right here, can you see it there on the screen? You've seen these in movies and stuff. It's like $50, but that gives you your backdrop. And
I have one of those.
Yeah, and then you use Velcro to attach.
Yeah,
you put Velcro. So you put a Velcro on the back. So then your fabric, your throw or whatever, so then that's firmly attached.
You know what I call those? I just called it a room divider, but I have.
Well, that's what they are.
I know I have one, and then I just noticed that Amazon has the one that I have.
Yeah,
it's upstairs in the bedroom upstairs, and then you just take in something, and like you said,
you can use different colors, and these. You can get for $20. You can use them for a throw to watch television, or you can hang them on the back of your screen.
Yes, I've got like There's my throw from Kohl's. I can use.
But you say that doesn't make sense for video, Dennis. Surely you know that.
Yeah, solid color.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit concerned about the contrast in your colors.
Yeah.
And
so do you guys do the talking head videos then? Because I don't think I've done any of those. Mine are all screenshots.
So my thought on that with talking heads, because Matt Bernstein is a friend of mine, and we've talked about that. There are some videos, like Gary Vaynerchuk's video. He does a lot of talking head throughout his video, and it looks really good. But for me, I think that just in the beginning, when people are getting to know you and you're telling them about your course, and then at the end as a thank you, thanks for taking my course. Well, I look forward to having you in my next course or something like that. I don't necessarily know if you have to see the instructor the entire course. It might depend on the type of course that you're teaching. What are your thoughts on that, Barb?
I have, as you know, I have completed 65 courses now. Mm-hmm. And I just stumbled across a new Udemy instructor course. In fact, I don't think I'm quite finished with it, but it's a guy that actually worked for Camtasia that's doing it. Mm. It's the most amazing instructor course. I think he in my opinion, has done the best job so far. Mm-hmm. It's just introductory level and getting it done. Talking about the importance of audio, because through Blab, I learned, I'm sure, Dennis, if you go through my audio that on past broadcasts wasn't nearly as good as it is tonight. Mm-hmm. And that's because true audio geniuses are on here. I'm working with the guys from ESPN now, and I have like that John Preto, Human 2, all these guys that have been doing it for so long, and they worked with me. And it's all about having and they do not recommend the Blue Yeti, and they're doing podcasts and all of that. And that's why I said they all recommend the Audio Technica. I had that open, which at the time, oddly enough, got the yes, that's right.
Yeah, that one. So, that particular.
That's what they recommend.
Yeah.
Now I've got a mic with a diamond in it. That's an Audio Technica, and it's actually wireless. And they, after I explained and showed them, and they said, "Well, yeah, go ahead and hook it up. You're probably going to be happier with it. But I'm going to be running it through a mixer board on here because I come on here with some friends and sing occasionally. So I want to be able to mix the music with it."
That would be an interesting Blab. I don't think I've ever been part of that. You'll have to send me out a notice when you're doing that.
Yeah, I broke Blab the last time around. In case you haven't noticed, like, watch me move my hands.
We should do Christmas carols.
What's happening? And so if you've been a professional singer, you use your body, to emote the song. And so it was a very interesting experience, but tons of fun. And so they helped out and helped with the sound. I learned a great deal as a result. But I know all of us, even on the instructional the courses that I took for Udemy instructors, there was recommendations to get the Blue Yeti. And I originally got Blue Yeti microphones. I have 2 of them in this room. I'm using one tonight. And then I have the one for my laptop is behind me there.
There's my Blue
Yeti. Yeah, I have that kind of a setup too. I've got one that I can set it up that way. But the challenge, it's how the sound is directed from the mic, mm-hmm. and how it ends up making so much difference. But as an instructor, I'm sorry, I forgot the other guest's name.
Shelly.
Shelly. As an instructor, and if you're going to use a talking head, you want it to learn about the contrast. It's like, that this screen behind makes it so simple.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's very, very inexpensive to be able to go that route. But you need a 3-point lighting system.
Mm-hmm.
So your light needs to be coming from the front. And so that's what I'm not a young lady. So, the softer it is, the better it is.
I'm the same way, Barb. I'm sure I'm closer to you than you think I am.
I'm only 19. I don't know what you're talking about.
But
I'm 21 again.
Yeah. The most important thing is just to use what you have and to jump in there. But if you really want to get into in fact, that Camtasia instructor whose Udemy course I took, it's probably in my cacher if you want me to drop it in, Dennis, you tell me. But anyhow.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's one I've already seen.
He recommend, I think he's new. I think he put it in the new, I think I got it because he put it in our studio. Because I thought I don't need another course, and he blew me away.
I actually take a lot of courses just so I can get an idea of what other Udemy instructors are doing.
That's what he said.
But I'm a firm believer, for sure, being a teacher, we have to learn how to do more with less. And so I have definitely learned how to start with the basic, and then just kind of work up from there. I think when I first started looking at Udemy and just really doing my research, people did say, oh, you get a Yeti and get this and get that. And they talked about the 3-point lighting system and get the Soji board. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm off of work. How am I going to afford all that? So I went in with just the basics. And again, when I released the course and they approved it and everything, I just thought, man, this probably doesn't hold a candle to what anybody else is doing. Nobody's going to buy it. And was just stunned when people actually started to jump in and buy it. And I actually do more of the screenshots. When I'm talking about JVZoo, I'm actually showing a screencast of what I'm doing in JVZoo and taking them step by step through, every step that you have to take to set yourself up. I even take them through how to create a basic website, how to get a domain, web hosting. I just treat them like they're starting from the very, very beginning, and they don't have anything set up at all, so they can see how to get started, all the way from getting a domain to finalizing everything, setting up on JVZoo and getting affiliates.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty cool system.
Yeah.
I'm real pleased with the reviews too. I have all 5-star reviews. I think there's maybe 11 of them.
That's pretty good because, Ellen was saying that you start with what you have, and then you create a course, and when you start making money, then you can start upgrading equipment as you go. Because somebody wanted to know what courses that we all teach. Well, I've been on Udemy since July of last year, and I started with a WordPress marketing course, and then I went into MailChimp, which is an email marketing app online that I use. I've taught Kindle marketing using WordPress. I teach Udemy marketing, because when I first started, people were asking, like, well, where do I go to market my course? And there's a lot of coupon sites. And so I created a course showing where all of those coupon sites were. And my friend Matt helped me with a list that he had, and we combined our work together. I have a course on Blab. It's a free course, and Barb and I have talked about that. So it's remaining a free course for now, but it's just basically my conversations that Matt and I have had, because Matt and I bring on other Udemy instructors like Phil Ebener, who is a guy who does over 10,000 each month in business through his Udemy courses and his videoschoolonline.com. And I'm like trying to think about what else. There's so many other courses, like just my conversation earlier with Barb, and she's got stuff that she hasn't released yet, and I need to do the same. I need to get stuff out. I know what I want to do. I've got several courses that I'm ready to just start recording. I've got to get my desk set up so that I can stand up, because you talked about, Shelly, that you had an amputation. Well, I'm a diabetic. I've been in the hospital 3 times this year. First one was cellulitis on my leg, and that actually scared me, thinking about, amputation, because of the fact that it wasn't clearing up at first. I was very lucky that it did. That was caused by just scratching myself because I have dry skin during the winter months. And then I took a road trip. I've actually met Barb before over in Bend, the third road trip that I had out there. But the second one, I came home, and the day after, I went to go return the car, and I was having pain and ended up in the ER and had to have emergency surgery because I had an incision hernia when I was younger from my gallbladder removed, and my mesh was tangling up with my intestines. Gosh. So that, and then back surgery a couple of months ago, and it just makes you start thinking about stuff. But that's why I like Udemy, because it gives me the option to work from home. But because of that, I have to remember to stay active. And so I've got to get this desk set up so that I can stand while I'm recording courses or while I'm doing this, and I'm not always sitting down, because it's not good for me to sit down. I've been doing physical therapy, and I need to start doing the gym and stuff like that. And that's one of the downfalls from like working for yourself, is that you're at home and you really have to get up and walk away from the desk and get away from this kind of stuff for a while. And I need to do more of that. So it's just, your story is interesting.
I have a pretty, I'm a very motivated individual. And I was very, very active before the amputation. I've got a rare genetic condition, which is, why I had the amputation. It led to the amputation. And I had a lot of surgeries as a child. And they were all surgeries that corrected problems that I had because of the genetic condition. And one of 2 of the surgeries were leg lengthenings. They actually lengthened the bottom part of my leg, the tibia, and the top part of my leg, the femur. They did that twice, and lots and lots of other surgeries. And I rock and rolled with everything in my 20s and 30s. But when I hit my 40s, my body just kind of went, you're so funny. You've had so much done. And the bones started to thin, and things started to change really fast. And being a teacher on my feet all day, it was really hard.
Yeah.
And my right leg didn't bend at the knee, and the right foot didn't move at all. It didn't go up and down or side to side. And I basically walked on my toes all the time because the foot didn't bend. And about 3 years ago, the foot just started to break by walking on it because the bones were so thin. And once that started to happen, then the knee problems just kind of got worse, and the bones were rubbing together, and they were so bad that they were actually square now. They weren't even round. Oh. And yeah, it was bad. And I started to take nerve block shots, and because they were trying to block pain that the nerves were having down in my toes, because it literally felt like all the time somebody's taking my last 3 toes and just pulling them backwards. And I don't even know how I taught. I taught for 8 years, and I don't know how I went in there to teach those kids, honestly, because I was in so much pain. But the process of getting the amputation for me was not a hard process. The hardest thing was finding a doctor that would actually talk to me about it, because they all wanted to save the leg, and I wanted to get rid of the leg. I was like, let's just cut it off. So they were not real excited about that. So I went through probably about 8 or 10 doctors trying to find one that would listen. But before the amputation, even with all the issues I had, I've been skydiving. I went swimming with sharks. I zip line. There's, all kinds of things that I do that I was able to do as long as I was real careful. And I just couldn't see myself not being able to do those anymore. I'm actually 49 years old now, and just could not imagine having to stay in a wheelchair all the time, afraid to take a step and another bone to break.
Yeah.
So when we finally found a doctor that said that, yes, he thought that the amputation was the best thing, and we actually found 3 doctors that agreed with me. I just picked a date and had it done. Just had it done. And my goal after the amputation was to get back up on my feet, which I am, and then walking at least 3.1 miles so I could do my first 5K. And I am actually jogging. When I walk my mile, I actually jog about a third of it. And before the amputation, I didn't jog at all. Never. In fact, the only way you could get me to move quickly was if there was children and blood involved, and it had to be both. That was the only way. So just the fact that I can jog, I'm already ahead of where I was before the amputation.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of motivation to get up and move around. And I've actually bought a really nice treadmill. And so if the weather's not good, I can still get up on the treadmill and do my mile. And really the only time that I won't do it is if I have been walking a lot and I've got some rub spots and I'm worried about the rub spots, so I won't do the mile on those days. But I'm very, very motivated to get up and moving and go skydiving again and go back to Hawaii and swim with the sharks again and all those things that I did before.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to swim with the sharks myself because I'm scared of that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Hey, before I forget, I just posted something in the chat there because Barb had mentioned that, yes, Udemy instructors, if you send, there's information somewhere within Udemy that you can send a request to get a code to get the Camtasia Studio or Camtasia 2 for the Mac at 50% off. But I can tell you that I've done that myself, and it's hard to get somebody to respond from Udemy to get that coupon for some reason. Other people have had no issue with that at all. But AppSumo has it for 50% off, and it ends within 24 hours. And that link that I posted is the link for that. And I have a Mac, so I finally own a license to it for $50. For Windows, it's $150 because it's the Camtasia Studio and it's got more to it. And I also bought ScreenFlow, which is another application specifically for the Mac for editing video. And it was on sale during Black Friday for less than $100. And I bought that too, and I still haven't used it. And I bought some fancy stuff to do some really cool effects and things like that. So I need to put that on my to-do list. But I just wanted to let everybody know, including you, Shelly, if you want to, like something like that. What you're doing though with that, I've used that screen capture before, and it works really well. Some of them are actually within Chrome. That might be one of them that runs through Chrome, is it?
I don't think so. I haven't used it through Chrome, but Screencast-O-Matic has a free version, but it has the little thing down at the bottom. But a license to use it for a year is like $15, and a license to use it for 3 years is, I think, $29. So I just paid $29, and you could go in and do editing on it. You can add some effects to it. It's actually, for $29 for 3 years, it is fantastic software and very, very easy to use.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do a Udemy course on how to use Screencast-O-Matic.
Yeah, there's probably not one out there. I know that there's plenty of them on Camtasia, and Phil Ebener has one on ScreenFlow that he was kind enough to gift to me to let me use it to learn more about ScreenFlow, and I need to start watching that. Barb, what are you using? And why don't you, if you don't mind, do you want to talk about some of the courses that you're working on? Because somebody had a question about that, some of the courses, and then we can go back to maybe talking about JVZoo a little bit more before we go. Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost your mic.
I forgot to turn it back on. I didn't want to be rude. I had to do some stuff on the keyboard here. Sorry about that. I am a real blonde.
Welcome back.
So where were we? I'm working on a course. I have a course on crowdfunding for artists.
Oh.
That because my market focus was working with artists, and I have
She's got so many she can't remember.
No, well, I have.
You need a glass of wine.
Out. Yeah, I had that. Sorry about that. We had a long day.
I
know. What happened is I went in, I was going to do it on creative financing in the 21st century. That was that's the one I actually turned into Udemy. So that's going to be my first course. And I had worked on the most successful crowdfunding campaigns in 2014 on the Kickstarter platform. So I had lots of data and stuff from that. And I thought, well, I'm going to go the crowdfunding route because I'm actually working in that arena. And then I'd come up with the outline, and somebody sent me a link to Blab. And everything went. And so then I literally thought my prayers had been answered, because I have been online. I came on. I think I came online full time in '91, but I've been online since I think it was '84 was the first modem, but pretty much, it's it was we started with a 2400 baud modem.
I started with a 300 baud modem.
Well, I
remember those days. I remember those days.
And a VIC 20. Commodore.
Oh, maybe it was 3.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I did the VIC 20 too.
Yeah. But it was way back there. And so when I saw that we could communicate, these were things we dreamed about. It was to be able to communicate not just by voice, but to communicate via video, to be there on screen with people all over the world. It was a huge awakening, and it's like because I believe it'll make a major difference in the world that we're in.
I agree with you.
Communication, education, for healthcare, in so many ways. And so then I started studying, as I do with, I research. And I started studying it intently, and I could see all kinds of things happening. And I said, this is in early beta stage at this point in time. And I could see, just like Dennis, I asked him tonight, how much marketing did you do, Dennis? Because you see, you have to bring your audience with you.
Yeah.
And so other than for social, pretty much, and the early adopters for social people that you were, but a lot of them have gone on to the next new thing already. So they didn't really, it was like, we'll try it and we'll come back when more bells and whistles have been added. In fact, this very night, don't be surprised if, you come back tomorrow, there'll be quite a few exciting features for us as instructors. One being able to put your slideshow in one of the open windows directly from SlideShare.
Oh,
and be able to turn it, just like you would be in a live presentation. So just one of those things. That's that John Preto. Did he come? Oh, he is there. That's the genius I was telling you about. He's stopping by here. But he's a brilliant man. And he's sitting, that little white icon up there.
Oh, yeah.
He's somebody, you need to look up his
hi, John.
Profile. That man is amazing. If I hadn't been married for 40 years,
All right.
We're glad John joined.
He's awesome, but really knows his stuff.
Nice. That's really cool. No, I just, I had taken the break when I had my surgery, and now I'm just kind of getting back into it. The Gary Vaynerchuk course kind of got me going again, because just talking about, new platforms like this, that the early adopters and stuff like that, usually that's where you're going to have success because like some of those other, the other things are kind of like already have their well-known individuals or whatever on those platforms. Like Maury Smith is known for the queen of Facebook. I don't know if I want to be necessarily known as the king of blab or anything like that, but I like bringing people together. I like doing this stuff. I've got my group with Udemy marketing, and I changed it to anything Udemy because I wanted it to be more open to just everything Udemy, from course creation to marketing. And with this blab show, I wanted it to be more of an intimate type setting rather than some of the craziness that I see on some of the other blabs with people jumping on and off, so that we can just have a conversation. And some of the other stuff people try to sell or whatever, and I would rather just kind of talk about topics and stuff like that interest people, like the JV Zoo. The other one that I think that you have, Shelly, and it says there, iCardinal apps. So you're doing some app stuff, is that correct?
Yes, actually, that's a free course that I have on Udemy on how to build your own apps. I have an online service that actually has templates and everything already created. Mm-hmm. So when you join, you just pull in those templates and create an app for either the iPhone or the Android or Kindle. And I even have a Windows app capability as well. And you just pull the templates in and kind of change a little bit of information, and then you can just publish straight from there. And so it's a way for people to start their own app business so they can actually create apps for businesses. It's really, really cool. And it's definitely my favorite. I love building apps. And, with the templates and everything, just to give you an example, say you were going to start a new app business, and you could go to a hair salon and say, hey, I'd love to build you an iPhone and Android app. Using my service, there's about 5 templates up there just on hair salons. And you could grab one of those that they liked and just change the information, and put in their phone number, put in their address. It's got a lot of other capabilities that after you play with it a while, you could learn how to add. But just a basic app you can do very, very quickly within about 20 minutes. And then publish it. And usually publishing for the iPhone takes about 2 to 3 weeks. Publishing for the Android usually takes about 2 days. And publishing for Kindle usually takes about 2 days. So you can get an app built and up really, really quickly.
Interesting. So does that,
cool.
Those apps typically run off of a website, or how does that work?
No, they go on, you publish them to either iTunes, or you publish them to Google Play, or you publish them to Amazon or to the Windows Store.
So as an example, because I, up in Seattle, one of the guys that I used to work for, he's got an app that he put together that shows a tourist based on their GPS location where there are free things to do in the state of Washington or in the Seattle area. And that app actually, I think all of it basically is on a website and just pulls it into the app format, but still kind of runs off of a website, and is hosted somewhere like Amazon. What do they call their hosting?
Their SWS or something like
that. So what are some examples of some apps? Do you have some apps that you have out there available for download? Oh
yeah, absolutely.
Give us some examples.
One of the things I did was, remember I told you on JV Zoo that I took PLR products and put them up on JV Zoo and got affiliates? Yeah. Well, another thing I did was took PLR products and put them in an app and put them up on iTunes and Android and Kindle, and put them up there for sale for 99 cents. So that bedwetting app.
Oh, yeah. You were telling us.
You remember the bedwetting that I told you about? That's actually an app.
And how do you?
And you can.
So does the Play Store tell you when you've got a sale or something like that?
They do. Yeah, they absolutely do. And I just go in and check and see, what kind of money they make. And it's actually really cool because I've got just about any PLR product you can take and put it into an app, because all it is a usually an ebook. I found one wonderful PLR product that was actually on hypnotherapy, and it had not only the ebooks, but it had all the audio to do your hypnotherapy for how to quit smoking, how to have a good relationship, how to get control of your finances, how to raise your kid without your child being defiant, all those things. So I put all of them into an app and just put them up on the app stores for 99 cents. And it went really well. So it's actually really fun to find new things to do. But my favorite, though, is doing it for customers and finding businesses that want an app, and then hashing out, okay, what do you want in your app? How do you want it to look? And just kind of building it that way. And to me, that's the most fun. And my most recent one was, we have a business here where I'm at that's a hibachi restaurant. They do the choppy stuff in front of your table, and it's one of my favorite places to go. And I approached them about building them an app, and they were really excited about it. So I not only built them an app, but I built in the ability to order online through the app. So you open up the app and you can see their whole menu, and you press the items that you want, adds them to a cart, and then you check out, and you don't pay for it through the app because you're going to go pick it up and pay for it. But the business actually gets an SMS message on their phone system that says, hey, you've got to order, these are the items. And you can actually message the customer back, and the answer comes back through the app that says it'll be ready in 20 minutes.
That's really cool, because you would be surprised at how many businesses out there don't have something like that, or even businesses that don't have a website. Our big Chinese food restaurant where I live in a town of about 50,000, and there's about 3 Chinese food restaurants, and it's been around for over 30 years. They do not have a website at all. So yeah, it's amazing. So Wendy, welcome. Wendy would like us to introduce ourselves again. So Shelly, why don't we go ahead and start with you and just give a brief introduction, and then Barb, and then I'll introduce myself.
Okay, well, I'm Shelly Turner, and I am actually on today with Dennis because I have a Udemy course, and I've created a course on how to use JVZoo as a seller. I'm a former high school biology teacher, and I'm now not working. I'm staying at home. I'm still working. I'm just doing home-based business, and I do have the app business, and I have a couple of other things that I do as well.
Great, thank you. And Barb.
I'm Barbara Tomlin. Everybody calls me Barb. And in January of 2016, my company will be 30 years old.
Wow.
I have been online since with that company online since 1986. I have a pretty hefty domain inventory, a lot of buying and selling domains, building them out, so forth, and strategic consulting. But I'm a serial entrepreneur and 4th generation entrepreneur. And most importantly of late, I'm a colon cancer survivor. So
wow,
I'm very
that's amazing.
grateful to be here.
Great, thanks, Barb.
And I'm a Udemy instructor,
Yeah.
but my course hasn't been published yet. And so if you want to learn, I'm going to have when we talked about those courses, there's going to be several on using Blab, actually. Because I took everybody else's courses, and I said, but they're missing this. And that's something I learned from that Camtasia course instructor today. Was it's okay to have all the competition out there, and you don't copy another instructor, but you put your spin on it. What can you add to it? What can you do to make it better? And I saw what was going on all along, so I'm going to approach it differently and have fun with it.
Great, thank you. So I'm Dennis Smith, and I'm the host of the show, and in January, I will be 18 years older than Barb's business, so you can figure out the math there. and a Udemy instructor since July of last year. And in November, I started hosting Udemy Hangouts on Google Plus Hangouts. And I've interviewed many different Udemy instructors, including Alan Hill, who's well known within the Udemy circles, and people like Rob Cubbin, my friend Matt Bernstein, and Phil Ebener, all who I call friends, who are great guys and great instructors. And there are other instructors out there that I have met along the way, including Barb and now Shelly. I work at home, and this is what I want to do. And I host a show and also host a show with Matt. And I've got a couple of websites out there, one of those being onlinecoursecoupons.com, and the other is onebuckcourses.com. It sounds like horses, but I'm in Idaho, so we have a lot of horses, but it's courses, $1 courses. And those are websites that I resell. Not resell, I'm an affiliate for instructors, and I sell courses. That's why I'm excited to have Shelly on, because she's talking about how to be a seller using jvzoo.com, which I am a seller, but I've never really effectively used it. So I need to go out and start looking at it a little bit more. And we've been just talking about apps, which is really cool, because that's put some ideas in my head now that I need to explore a little bit further, because Barb says she's a serial entrepreneur. I like to say that I'm also a serial entrepreneur and a digital nomad, that I always have these ideas that I try out. Some don't work so well and I move on, and others have started working for me finally, that I'm earning enough income to finally hopefully move out by myself next year, because right now I watch my parents' house while they're enjoying the sunny weather in Arizona, and I'm here in Idaho where it's been raining for the last 3 or 4 days now. And it's just like, I need to I have a MacBook, and I wanted to show it because I think it's so cool. It's called a flip book, and it's kind of, I think, like the latest thing now in laptops. Let me go get it real quick. It's over here. I'm going to set the headphone down for just a moment. I'll be right back. I love technology, and we were talking about the Commodore VIC-20. So this is a flip book from Asus, and this weighs about 2 pounds. And I've been a Windows user, and I decided to move over to Mac, and sometimes Mac frustrates me. But you can see that this opens up into a laptop. But then as I do that and flip it around, now it's a tablet, and it's a touch screen. And you can see like how thin it is, and it's only a couple of pounds. And I bought it because I'm an author too. I wrote a book called Promote Your Business or Cause Using Social Media. This is a earlier edition of it right there. But I'm writing a book now called Udemy Life. And actually, Barb, I should probably interview you, and Shelly, I should probably interview you too for the book, because I've got a lot of guys in the book, and I need more female instructors as inspiration to other females out there who want to do this stuff, because it's just not all guys on Udemy. It's just hard to find certain people to talk to and interview. But I decided to buy that so I can dictate the book and talk, through the headset and all of that, and go to a coffee shop or somewhere, or maybe drive to a nice, sunny, warm place, or go to the Bahamas and lay out on the beach. So that's a little bit about me. I like to talk a lot too. So, so yeah. So we're coming up at it's 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock here. And are you, Shelly, on the Eastern time or Central time?
We're on Central.
That's what I thought. So it's, coming up on 11, and we've been doing this about almost an hour and a half. So we'll probably wrap it up here in just a few. Where can we find you at online?
Let me put a link in for you. Hold on just a second.
And I put your course in there, by the way, too.
Thank you very much.
Oh, so that's the course that, Barb, you were talking about?
Mm-hmm. They asked for it. Someone in there asked for it.
Oh, see, I'm already signed up.
Yay!
I think this is the... Huh. And I can tell that I haven't started it yet either.
There you go. So you need to start.
Awesome.
But I actually put a link to one of my other things that I'm working on, which is called the App Foundation. And what I'm doing is creating, I'm finding out that a lot of people that come in, even though the service that I have to create apps is so easy, they're still stuck with, well, how do I start my business? And how do I do this? And how do I do that? So I'm creating a 12-month, 52-week program that's step by step. Okay, week 1, you need to work on getting your LLC and you need to work on doing this. And then week 2, you need to work on doing this. And so that's the App Foundation, is a very personalized step-by-step approach on how to build your app business. So what I've done is put a link in there to the App Foundation with the JV Zoo tag. And when you get to that page, you'll actually see a link to take you to the JV Zoo Mastery. And it is normally $97. And for anybody that wants to jump in, I've bumped it down to $10.
That's a great price, because that's Udemy at their lowest usually is $10. But I know that they're not going to sell any longer for $10. I think now Udemy courses are going to be about $15 or more during promotion. So great. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I've also put a link to your free apps course. Barb, where can we follow you online?
The best thing to do right now is just to follow me on Twitter and here on Blab.
On Blab?
I have an About Me page, and I have my corporate website, but I don't want to go into that now because I've been out there. You can Google me, and you'll find it that I'm out there.
All right.
And the thing is that's everything's being redone. We're getting ready to launch stuff in January of 2016. So, and I'm going to be putting all of that through Blab. So,
can you believe that we're talking about 2016? And I remember Y2K. I was living in Seattle, and that we're already 16 years from that. My nephew was born in the year 2000. He'll be 16 years old next year. So it's just it's crazy to think like that. So go ahead.
Imagine the VIC 20. Remember when you had to program in BASIC, and when you turned the machine off, it was gone. You had to start over again. Yeah. And now we're sitting here on Blab talking to each other. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, and
as an instructor, it's so exciting to see these things like Periscope and Blab pop up, so that you can use them to be able to reach your audience.
Well, that's how, I didn't mention it in my introduction, but back in late September, right before that, Barb had been following Matt and I had mentioned something about that I had traveled to Bend, and she said that she lived in the Bend area. And so I told her that I would contact her when I came through Bend. So last time I was there was a restaurant right near where I was staying, and her and her son came down and met me for dinner. And so I can say that I've met Barb in person. So that's just, that's all through Blab and Udemy. Right. So I have several people.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
But because of Blab, I have several people coming in the next, before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And I'm planning a major event in 2016.
In Bend?
In October. In Albuquerque. I'm working on another one for Spokane. And if you want to do the digital nomad thing here, we can do that before I take off. So we'll just see how it rolls.
Yeah, we should talk about that, because I had talked to her about doing some kind of event where digital nomads could get together and see if we could get some speakers, because it's kind of the digital nomad lifestyle has been a thing that's been around, but as far as people getting together and meeting and being able to talk to other people who do that, I've seen like one event, but Bend would be an amazing place to host something like that. The Pacific Northwest, I mean, I grew up here, Barb's here. There's no other place, I think, in the world that I would want to live than the Pacific Northwest. I love traveling and seeing other places, but it's just like when I come home, I want to come home to mountains. And I've got a camera set up in the bonus room that films outside, and if it were a clear day, you could actually see the mountains, but we haven't had a clear day in over a week now.
Yeah.
Lots of snow coming through and rain, which we need very, very much so. But anyway, I can be found at dennisjsmith.com. That's my main website. I talked about the other two, information on my courses and all of the other stuff that I do, including these blab shows. I've got a really cool plugin that I think Barb was the one who put me in touch with, or we talked about it, and I got a plugin that will automatically put this blab up on my website once we're done, and it's recorded. So if you're just joining us, you can go back here in just a little bit and watch the replay. And next week, I'm going to have Udemy Instructor. And now I'm like totally lost. Scott Duffy, who is a friend of mine from Canada, he's got a new course out on how to things you can do to prevent pirates from stealing your Udemy courses, or at least making sure that if they do, that people will question whose course it really is by making sure that you've got that protected. So this show, Late Night with You, Me, and Udemy, is every Sunday night at 10:35 Eastern Time. It used to be 11:35, but I thought that was too late. It's too late for me even here, but I wanted a late night show. And then Matt Bernstein and I do a show that we do on Thursdays, and we're going to go back to that again, and we're going to be talking about content marketing. So you'll want to make sure that you follow me on Blab. You can certainly follow Barb, because she's turning into the queen of Blab. She's an expert. And Shelly, hopefully you'll start doing maybe some blabs on your on the stuff that you're doing too. So I want to thank everybody for taking time out. And Wendy wants to know what the plugin is. Do you know what the plugin name is off the top of your head? Something social. Oh, Simple Live Press. Yes, Simple Live Press, and it's a nice little app. It's affordable. It's under $100, but if you go to dennisjsmith.com, the webinars and blabs that I've done, you just hover over that and select it, and it just brings them all up. And you can watch the replays and all of that kind of stuff, because this is the second show for Late Night with You, Me, and Udemy, but I have many more blabs that I did with Matt and some other Udemy instructors, and I hear that my MacBook is telling me that it's 10 o'clock. So on that, I'm going to let Barb say, you have any last-minute words, or Shelly, you have any last-minute words?
Have a great week.
Thank you, everybody.
It's great.
Yeah,
Yes,
y'all
thank
have a
you.
great night, and thank you so much,
Yes.
Dennis, for having me on.
Yes.
This is my first one that I've
Great.
done, and it was really
I
fun.
appreciate it. We'll chat
Yes.
more again
It's
offline.
great
but
to meet you.
Probably not tonight, but later on, okay?
Okay, sounds
Bye,
great.
Barb.
Good
Good seeing
night.
you again.
Good
Have a great
night.
week.
Bye, you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Have a great week.